Welcome to the ExtraTime podcast, powered by the Real Football League, the official league of Real Football 24. I'm your host, Ronamic. You can just call me Rono. And on the fourth episode today, I've got someone very special for you guys. We've got one of the board of directors, the head of media. We've got Mr. Cammy. Cammy, thanks for joining me on the show.
It's a pleasure to be here. Hello, everyone.
Well, first up, I think, I speak kind of for myself and maybe some of the older players. I feel like, I hadn't really heard of you kind of in the NPS community. When did you first discover, Roblox football?
It's funny to say that. I've been around since 2011, man. I mean, this is back in the days of like OG NPS, where it was like you organised friendlies via messages and you had like your record on like the group. Do you remember those days?
Oh, yeah.
When you used like forums to like run a league stuff. Yeah, those were the days. I started it there. I mean, I was only 9 at the time. So I was nowhere near old enough to be running the league of that.
Yeah.
And then I moved to TPS. I mean, I played TPS just like public servers forever, and then I found some TPS leagues back in like 2016. When I was a teenager, probably my peak years, which you'd be expected to play. And then, I stopped playing for a bit, and then lockdown came around, and I was so bored. I was so bored. I mean, there was nothing to do. Like, I was in the house all day. I knew some people online, and they were playing in a league called ECL, English Conference League, and I joined them one day, and I was hooked on it, man. It was so fun, and that's been it until the present day. I mean, I played that as a player for 2 years, and then last year I got the pleasure of taking over as the owner of ECL, basically, and ran that whole league until, unfortunately, we didn't have an active developer and we had to give it up. And it was with that ECL running, which was what on my CV, basically. And then the other board director, Telly, got in touch and said, look, there's an opening at my new game. And I said, hell yeah, man. I mean, yeah, I solo ran ECL basically for a year, so get me in. And then spoke to Sate, Flacco, and here I am.
That's really interesting. It kind of sucks that that's kind of how ECL ended, but I mean, I can totally relate with PFA. If anyone's familiar with PFA, they know that basically myself and NTS ran it, and just it was a combination of a lot of things, but unfortunately, like just the development slowly kind of declined. I mean, I feel like we had kind of a team before, and then it just kind of fell on one person. And when it comes down to that one person, if it's if things don't get done, it just people slowly lose interest, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, ECL was a solo dev by XDino is his name, and Trito, but he went to university, didn't have the time for it, and slowly but surely, I mean, the game broke bit by bit, and there was no one there to fix it until got to a point where we just had to call it quits. The game was just unplayable.
Yeah. I remember first coming about it, like, so, my journey's like 2011 as well. I found TPS, and I mean, it was a blast, but then I discovered NPS later in 2012. And yeah, like it was kind of just so interesting to be able to play the game and feel like a professional, and even back then, like you said, I mean, you'd have to message on forums, literally through Roblox as well, which was super funny thinking about it. Or like if you had a match, you would just shout it on the group.
The actual league was ran on like the forums. It was so bad.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And I remember there was like rules. It was like you kicked my player, so you auto lose, and then you'd go and update your group saying like, we auto win versus so and so, and there was no way to dispute it or that. And they were like, yeah, okay, I guess we auto lose.
And there was no offside, there's no mids, there's no outs. It was a very weird. Yeah. But when I first discovered ECL, I'm trying to think what year that would have been, but I feel like it was probably 2020. I feel like that's
ECL's been running since I think 2019. Yeah,
okay.
But that was so I think lockdown was peak.
Yeah, and I remember Wazento actually had invited me to play on one of his teams, and it was so weird. Like I had never seen a game like that, with the R15, and it was so fascinating to actually play a game like that. And it kind of reminds me like Real Football 24. The actual game is R15 and very realistic and fluid. It was kind of like I don't want to say a baby version of it, but it was a very like basic bare bones version of what I feel like RF24 has become now.
No, it definitely is. I mean, and then when I got more and more involved with RF, and they started to give me a bit more of like a creative output, because I sorted everything in the sound department of RF and media. That's all me. And coming from ECL, which is so, I think it's easily the most community orientated league
Oh yeah,
on road soccer, probably easily. I mean, everything we did was for the community. Like there was no like a lot of row soccer leagues. It's just like an empty pitch, and you just turned up and play. I mean, yeah, some people preferred that, but it was boring. There was nothing. There was nothing outside of just turning up and playing.
right,
And we really wanted to change that. And then the ECL, what it did was you had actual stadiums you can go and interact with, and you had the fan tools like chant tool, flares. I mean, that was all such new things to the row soccer league. And then so when uh RF brought me in, that's exactly what I wanted to implement. I wanted to bring, that heart of ECL onto the main stage really, because ECL was quite niche at the time, and it still was till its very end. And I think some previous actions by some previous owners, ruined the rep of ECL a little bit, and it was like a sinking ship to try to change that. So, that's why I was brought into RF to try and bring that heart of the community to the game rather than just a soulless
right.
MPS cop. Man, we've there's been hundreds of those now. We don't need another one.
Yeah, and I think that's something that maybe the community doesn't understand is like, what RFL, like the actual league of RF24 is trying to do is, we want to elevate every element of the league, right? Like
Yeah,
things that, for example, PRS, right? They're the biggest MPS league right now. I don't think that's really a debate anymore. I
yeah,
feel like they're
yeah,
just, and it's no disrespect to them at all. I think that a lot of these guys work really hard, but I feel like every year it's just or every season rather, they're doing a lot of the same things. And I think the
yeah,
differences with RFL and what you're trying to accomplish with the media team is innovation, right? We always want to try to do
yeah,
new things, fresher things. We at
yeah,
the core mechanics of it, yeah, we're streaming games, but what can we do to make these streams more fun, interactive, feel real? And I think that's
yeah,
something that a lot of leagues are missing. And I think you're the right guy for being that head of media guy, to be able to see that vision.
yeah. I mean, respect to PRS's media team. I mean, they're the charter. They're the the benchmark for what a media team should be. I mean, some of the guys that work there that I've brought along to RFL Media, some of the work is just absolutely incredible.
Oh yeah.
Uh but like you said, it's the same thing season in, season out. You turn up, put on ball cam, stream it, boom, get your photo, get the watches in, done. And yeah, some people prefer that, and if you do, fair play. Not everyone's got the time to fully get involved with a game, but those that are interested in taking it that further level. I mean, we want to do stuff, like full overlays, even stuff like scouting games or Friday fours or even the fantasy league that we're going to be running. It's things
Right.
like this that that a lot of leagues are just missing out on. Man, it's a very easy thing to implement, and the way we want to take RFL is one day, become like a full esport almost.
Yeah.
You know, RF and RFL has potential. It's like a golden egg almost, and if it's cradled, and it's loved enough, then this has the potential to skyrocket into something probably none of us has ever seen before on this platform. So that's and you're not going to be doing it. You're not going to get there, by being stand still by just streaming these games and doing nothing to innovate. You're going to be a successful league, but that's going to be it. We don't want that. We want to be setting trends here. We want to be the standard. We want to be something more than just a side league on Roblox for some people to play. I mean,
Right.
you see I think it's the Brazilian league,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
the Brazilian MPS league, and the people will know who I'm talking about if you know. But there's like a Brazilian MPS league. I'm not sure if it's like faked or not, like if it's like preset, but it's huge. Like it's
It's
Oh,
like
it's
on
you'll know
TV.
about it.
Like I think
Yeah,
you can watch it on like cable.
yeah, yeah. I've seen videos of being on being at like bars,
Yeah, yeah, and it's
and I get like
that's wild.
yeah, and I mean that's the level we want to be, and then the benefit RF has and RFL has over these other leagues like PRS, ECL, even PFA is it's got a massive, massive auto game backing it, uh, and not many leagues can say that. A lot of leagues, funding purely come from league and like bails and stuff, whereas RFL has that monster backing of real football behind it. And with that funding, it allows us to do so much for the community and so many new ways to innovate that a lot of leagues it's nearly impossible for them to do because they don't get that funding.
Right. I
So
one other
on
thing
you go.
one other thing I was going to say, I think a lot of people, I don't know if they are familiar with the fantasy league that you're bringing to
Yeah.
RF24 RFL. So can you kind of like break that down and explain?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's something I ran in ECL. If anyone played ECL and they loved it, I mean, the general consensus from it was one of the best things to happen in that league. I mean, we ended up with like a random Division Two game that you'd get like 3 fans at maybe. I mean, nobody was bothered with these games. Suddenly we had 40, 35, 40, 50 fans at these games. It was chaos, man. And it was flares, banging drums, chants. It was nuts. It was so fun. So basically, what it is I don't know if you're familiar with Fantasy Premier League.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah. Right. So take Fantasy Premier League. Right. So you pick your 11 players. Uh, and then you watch them you watch them play their game. They get points if they score, assist, lose
Right.
points if they get a red, miss a sitter, etc. Blah blah blah. So it's the same concept. So you pick 7 players, I believe. Yeah, one from each team, and you pick based on who they're playing. So I don't want to say it's betting because obviously we'd never promote betting. There's nothing, there's nothing financial to it. There's no monetary gains from this. But you're basically wagering, saying this player is going to perform well versus this team. Do you understand?
Right,
So
right.
you'd pick them, and whatever they did in the game, they'd get points for. So they'd get points for scoring, assists, man of the match, blah blah blah. And it's just a league. You'd get points, and then you collect all your points at the end, and that's your points for the week. Put on a leaderboard, and whoever's got the most points, monthly, yearly, wins something. We want to make a massive prize for this because you want like if this fantasy league has a massive prize, people will be so incentivized to make the correct decisions and really back their players, and you'll end up with like every game having 50 plus fans try to cheer on their specific player. You understand?
Yeah, and I think adding
So,
to that too, like I mean, if you can't make it, like say you're at work or something, you're on your break. I mean, you could watch the stream and make sure your player's playing well. I think that's
yeah,
such a great idea
yeah.
for something like
But it,
this.
it only works if there's something of value at the end of it. If
Right.
it's just for fun, some people will be interested, but the majority won't. If you put something at the end that people go, "Holy, I want that," they will take this seriously. I mean, it was £250. I offered for ECL the winner, uh,
Oh,
and we we
Jesus.
we had we had we had like full like pundits giving detailed analysis on who to pick.
Wow.
Someone made a statistical machine that would give XG on players, so you could make mathematical predictions on
Oh
who would
my
score.
god, that's crazy.
It was it was crazy. Yeah, we had full like you've got to pick this player because the maths say he's got 7.4 XG. Two pundits reckon he's a pick. It was insane, man. It was absolutely insane. That's
Wow.
ECL, which was a very small league, a
Right.
very niche small league. So could you imagine on your RFL level? It'd
That
be
is awesome, dude. That
yeah,
sounds so
it'd be
cool.
insane.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so easy to run. It's literally just like I'm pretty sure Satana can do it, but you just need to get a system where it can track stats. When you start a game, it will track the amount of passes you do, the amount of shots on target, goals, assists, blah blah blah,
Right.
and that will get put back to Discord, and then we'll have a team that will like run the numbers and give out the points, and it's very easy to run. It's all just through a spreadsheet. There's nothing high into it, and you've got the NTS, the spreadsheet god, who
Yeah.
who'll figure it out. So yeah, RFL is very capable of taking this and projecting it like 10 times bigger. It's going to be so fun. I can't wait. I know I'm yapping on a bit here, but that's because
I know, man. I
this
mean,
is my
that's so
pride. This
exciting.
is my pride. This is my prized baby, right? It was so good in the ECL. I'm so excited for it in RFL because this league is like 4,000 times bigger. It's going to
Yeah.
be absolute chaos, man. I mean, you're going to have like 7,500 fans bloody every game. It's going to be nuts.
Yeah, I mean, is that where you see RFL going like in the next year or so? You think, stadiums full of people in the
I
game?
mean, you could do that right now. RFL's already
Oh
big enough.
yeah.
The RF game's big enough, but the issue is obviously with this fans and lag. But if Roblox ever find a way to have mass servers without lag, we'll be there. We'll be there.
I
We
feel
will be there.
like what they do for like these Roblox events is like you just like you buy a ticket
Yeah.
and it can be cheap, like it can be like 5 Robux or something like stupid. But with that ticket, it like puts your player in the game. So like
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
there, but not you're not really there. You're just in the game, so it's like less lag because there's no people connected to it. It's just
Yeah.
the
I
players.
was looking. I was thinking about doing something with that, and then obviously we've got the stadium progression in the game.
Right,
One of the
right,
things I was, One of the things I was thinking of was like fans, and you'd get fans by and specific individual players owning a quote unquote ticket to games. The other avatar would be put in like the stadium, and
wow,
like the amount of fans you receive, the more upgrades you'd get, etc. So the bigger clubs, bigger stadium, which
right.
makes sense. Obviously, that's something I'm looking into. But yeah, I mean, the only limit to a fan capacity right now is Roblox itself. Uh, that's it. I mean, even if like fans from RFL wouldn't come, you could straight up put the link in the RFL disc in the RF Discord, and bang, you'd instantly get like 100 players,
Oh yeah, yeah, for
100,
sure.
100 fans in the game. And that's another like I said before, what RFL has is just that behemoth 70,000 Discord behind it in the RF main game. If you're ever low in numbers of our fans, bang, instantly in the
Right.
RF Discord, instantly 100 fans. It's absolutely insane
Oh
how
yeah.
how well we've got it with RF back in RFL.
Yeah, this is I'm really excited, man. I'm looking forward to seeing how big RFL grows. Well, we're starting to
Yeah.
hit that mark near the end. Cammy, is there anything else you want the community to know about you or about RFL, where it's headed?
Not really. I'm just so excited, man. I'm so happy that I've been trusted to lead the creative output for what RFL wants to be. I mean, the main thing I did, I mean, it was my idea to do custom clubs because my thinking behind that was, no disrespect again, but see a lot of these NPS leagues, right, that are in their fifth, 10th season. There's no continuity. So, like, one season you'll be Chelsea, and the next you're Inter Milan, and it's like what?
Yeah.
Or like one, and then international as well. I mean, one season you're Japanese and then the next you're Zimbabwe, and it's like what? That makes no sense. And then it's little things as well, like stadiums for a matter. Like take some leagues having a World Cup in quote unquote like France, right? But
Yeah.
then I watched the live stream in the finals in the Leverkusen stadium, and I'm thinking, what the hell's that about? You know what I mean? They're like,
Yeah.
the least you could do is like get some authentic French names and get a French flag up, get the French national anthem playing, get some French warm up songs, French stadium announcers. I mean, there's so many things you can do to actually make that feel authentic. With RFL, with the custom clubs. I mean, we've got custom trophies for all the leagues. We've got custom logos for all the leagues. Custom what is it? Ooh, sorry. Custom trophies, custom leagues. I mean, we want to do goal songs, we'll warm up musics and Pacific language. So, like the DFL, the German league, they're going to have the stadium announcers in German. They're going to have the warm up music in German. It makes sense.
Right.
Uh, it's little things like that. It goes such a long way to making your league feel really, really alive. And it's something I'm really passionate about because I'm not good at RF, right? I don't care about playing it. I'm not good at my own game. I'm getting too old for this nonsense. I can't keep up with all the kids and their fast fingers. You'll agree with me, Ron. Right, this game isn't for us anymore. So I'm only interested, giving the best of the community because these guys are awesome, man.
Yeah,
Right,
man.
and
It's
they
very it's
deserve.
really cool. It's really cool to see, the younger guys come up and see how
Yeah,
different how different they play. I mean, I still play like I do back in like 2012. I mean, I get the ball, I look for a pass,
Yeah,
and I dime somebody, and
I'm
that's it.
yeah, I'm looking down at my fingers when I'm dribbling, man. I can't keep up. I can't keep up with these kids, man. They're too. It's like they're on Adderall constantly when they play. It's nuts, man. You see like the seal dribbling, like people flicking up 40 times in the air. I'm like, how the hell are you doing that?
I will,
I'm bloody.
yeah. I mean, I will say though, like I play for Villarreal and Fila, one of the fan leagues, and a lot of us got team of the season. Like I think it was me, Nick Rod, Sean, Sonic, Sean, and
There you go.
Soccerton. I
Unks have
mean,
still got it.
and we're all like, we're all old as shit. So it's, it goes to show like experience right now is so important. But in a year after season one, dude, when people understand the tools and the mechanics and stuff, I mean, we're
Yeah,
toast.
I'm cooked.
That's what I'm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
they're
predicting
cooked,
that.
man.
I'm only good
We've
because
got
I understand the tools more than anyone. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, all I can say to everyone is just continue to trust what we're doing. Don't lose hope, don't lose hope, don't lose faith. We're, you might look at the decision and like, 3D kits, for example. I mean, there was a lot of backlash to that at the start. But now
Yeah,
when people have realised, we've fixed the kits, it's a lot more skinny. And when we tell people, this allows us to do so much more. Layer clothing, undersleeve, short sleeve, turtlenecks, shut off celebrations. And they come around and they go, oh, you know what? Yeah, fair enough. That's a
yeah,
really good decision. So see everything we're doing, it's for your benefit, guys. Everything I'm doing, I don't care about monetary reasons or trying to corrupt or anything like that. Everything I'm doing is just solely focused on right. Okay, what are the community gonna love? What's going to make RFL just boom? You know,
yeah.
and thank you for the support. I mean, it's not been hard. I mean, it's not been easy. I mean, the kits, man. I mean, I'm clocking about 11 hours a day putting those kits in the game. It's nuts. And then the stadium progression, and then having to deal with the logo maker for making the custom clubs. I mean,
Yeah.
it's been hard, but we're getting there. We're really getting there. I'm so excited for RFL to launch. So excited.
Well, Cammy, I mean, I think the community will be very satisfied with what's been said. I really appreciate you coming on the podcast. And guys, stay tuned for more. We've got a lot more guests planned, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much, Cammy.
Absolute pleasure. That's absolute pleasure every time.